GearNetwork.com.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to this podcast. If you're looking to support this podcast and this network, visit shopGERE.com. That's shopGERE.com. It will take you right to Amazon.com, to your Amazon account, and you can do all of your Amazon shopping. The difference is using our link versus going to Amazon's link is that you are telling Amazon that Gear Network referred you, and they end up giving us a small percentage of your purchase, which helps out this program and this network entirely. And of course, if Amazon's not your thing, it's understandable. On GearNetwork.com, GERE network.com, if you click on the top bar that says donate to Gear, there's several different PayPal buttons. You can donate to us as well if Amazon isn't your thing. Your support is vital to helping the Gear Network maintain this programming, this quality programming, and continuing our growth through the year. As always, thank you very much for your support and your listens and your downloads and your likes and your shares from all of us here at the Gear Radio Network. This is a Gear Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Mr. Perez, and you're listening to the Better Live Than Dead podcast, brought to you exclusively on Gear Network. Listen in.
How's it going, everybody? We are here. We are live. We are Better Live Than Dead, episode number 100. We finally hit it. Now, before we do some celebrating, we got to get to the cast and the crew of today's podcast. I'm Ryan Wolfe, at Wolfe BLTD on Twitter. Joining me live in real life, Western New York wrestling superstar Eric Emanon.
I wouldn't go as far as superstar, but I'm definitely pretty cool.
B-lister, maybe C-lister.
I would say at least a C-list, because a few people might care if I had an addiction or kick the bucket.
He's a D-lister, if you get what I'm saying.
I'm a D-lister, I guess.
He's at Eric Emanon on Twitter, joining me on the conference call, because we're so fancy now. We've got people in real life as well as on the phone. It's pretty cool stuff.
Sophisticated.
We've got Mr. Perez joining the podcast back at MRLG Perez, and Mr. JC Money, John Cimino himself, at the JC Money on Twitter. Everybody, how are you all doing today?
What's up, peoples? This is Mr. Perez, episode 100. That sounds good to say. I like it. Jay, what's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? I am sore as all hell from my return. But, of course, we just recorded episode 99 and a half. So, hey, you probably know the story already. But I am well. How's it going, everybody? BLTD episode 100.
That's Spanish for 100 that don't hablo español.
For those who don't hablo español.
And, yeah, everyone, episode 100. That's
El Nino stands for the Nino.
Yeah, that's that.
Quite the accomplishment, fellas. Very, very happy that you guys made it to 100.
And I'm going to extend that congratulations as well to you guys. That's super awesome.
Appreciate that, guys. It's a lot of work. Been a lot of work, but hey, we're here now. We're having some fun. We're talking Super Bowl. Whatever the number, Super Bowl 51, LI.
51.
Super Bowl 51. The New England Patriots, the Atlanta Falcons. We've got ourselves one hell of a matchup. Now, just to kind of look on the surface right now, this is probably the best matchup we could have asked for statistically when looking back at what could have been. I mean, since Tom Brady returned from the Deflategate suspension, Falcons and Patriots rank 1 and 2 in points per game, including the playoffs. So they're the two best offensive teams in football. We'll get to what will actually win the Super Bowl here in the coming minutes. But New England 14-2 in the regular season, Atlanta 11-5. I mean, just on the surface, what are you guys thinking about this Super Bowl matchup heading now a week away from Super Bowl 51?
Someone go.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for you, Lewis, because typically you're the the co-host here. But
I'm giving the guests an opportunity to first with this one.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Eric, you're the Pats fan. Why don't you roll?
All right. Well, I mean, like Ryan said, we are going to have one interesting Super Bowl ahead of us, especially with Atlanta. Matt Ryan, arguably at this point, the league MVP for the season. And then you've got Tom Brady on the other end with the Brady and company. I think it showed earlier in this year that Tom Brady is a great quarterback, yes, but it is also the organization, the coaching, and the depth that they have in New England that will benefit them in the long run, even post-Brady, in the years to come. So, it's going to be, I think it's going to be amazing. It's the 9th time they've been there. And it's something for Belichick and Brady to both say, hey, we did this together 9 times. I think that's rather impressive.
You talk about 9 times there for Belichick and Brady. How about when you combine Belichick's time as an assistant coach as well? I think it's his 15th time.
Yeah,
it's just to jump in. It's 10 of he's been in 10 of 51. It's a fun fact I was going to share. 10 of 51 Super Bowls that Bill Belichick has been involved in. That's 19.6% of all Super Bowls in the history of the National Football League. So Bill Belichick knows a thing or two about coaching in the Super Bowl for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He does. Absolutely, he does. I'm kind of with you, Eric, on this. These are definitely the 2 best teams, and I was high on the. If you listen to my football podcast throughout the season, Atlanta was my bandwagon team because I knew the Jets were terrible anyways. But they typically start out hot and then they kind of fizzle out. That's kind of the Falcon way. That's what they do, but. This year, Matt Ryan played on a completely different level. Arguably the league MVP. I personally would give it to Rodgers, but that's a different conversation for a different time.
Yeah.
But arguably the league MVP completely showed it in that dominating win against the Packers in the NFC Championship game. So as far as the Falcons go, I think they're going to be the toughest team. They're going to give the Patriots a run for their money. Now, on the opposite side, Tom Brady has been angry all year, okay, because Roger Goodell's inability to let go of that stupid Deflategate thing, and they suspended him the first 4 games. And Ryan, you being a Bills fan, your Bills fandom, your Bills fans were like, oh, great! This is awesome. This is a great time for us to shine. And then what happens? They go 3-1, and then Brady comes back, and it's like that wasn't supposed to be the plan.
No, not at all.
And he only throws for 2 interceptions the entire season, and completely reverses father time as far as he goes. So, the biggest weakness I think for the Patriots this game will be their defense.
I agree with that. Their secondary has been lackluster to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. It's if the Falcons if they can do what they did to Green Bay, to New England, Tom Brady's going to have to be on fire, and we're either looking at an extremely high-scoring game, or we're looking at Atlanta opening their new stadium next year, raising a banner.
And to add on to that, I really think that this game is going to come down, like you said, it's going to be something where it is going to come down to whoever has the ball last. And so it's going to be a game of strategy. It is going to be a game of position. It is literally going to be a chess game from the coin flip at the beginning of the game.
Now, Lewis, let's get your thoughts.
Hey, Lewis, would you like to chime in now?
You know what? I said at the very beginning of the season, and it's certified, we can go back and listen to it. I said when Tom Brady came back from his suspension, he was going to be pissed off, and he was going to take it out on the rest of the league, and he was going to make it to the Super Bowl, and he has. So I was right in that aspect of my prediction at the beginning of the season. Now, as you guys are saying, this is not going to be a defensive struggle type of game. Both offenses are quite potent. Like you said, ranked 1 and 2. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a fun, exciting shootout. I think that Tom Brady has something to prove. He wants to be, I believe, the first quarterback to ever win 5 Super Bowls.
Yep, it would be 5.
He wants Roger Goodell to be the awkward one handing him the trophy. And let's be honest, I'm not a Patriots fan. I've said that. I think Tom Brady was hosed in this whole Deflategate thing. And so, quite frankly, I would enjoy watching Roger Goodell hand him the trophy. I don't want to see it happen because y'all know that I'm a Dallas Cowboy.
Here we go.
The podcast.
Can I finish your sentence for you, Lewis?
Go ahead.
Because we know if the Patriots win their 5th Super Bowl ring, they're going to tie the Dallas Cowboys as the second greatest franchise, and the San Francisco 49ers. But that means that the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to win 2 more, so that way they can be the greatest franchise of all time.
Well, yes, that's true. They got to win 2 more to be the greatest franchise of all time anyway, because everyone knows the Pittsburgh Steelers has 6. Screw the Pittsburgh Steelers, can't stand them.
Yep.
But I got to be honest with you.
I would take Le'Veon Bell on my team, though.
Absolutely.
That's a true story. Well, that's a true story. I got to be honest with you. For years, I was not a Patriots fan. I couldn't stand the Patriots. But I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of digging them right now. But I feel that, it's going to be a shootout. I think that whoever's going to win is going to win by maybe 3 points. I think I know who's going to win, and I think I know I know who I want to win. I just don't think who I want to win is going to be the team that wins.
And how weird is that coming from a Cowboys fan? I mean, this is, I would say, outside, unless you're in Buffalo or you're a Buffalo Bills fan. Sorry, Ryan. Roger Goodell and the NFL has managed to do something that I personally thought was impossible, and that is make the Patriots, in wrestling terminology, Eric, you'll understand this as well, make the Patriots turn face.
Oh, they absolutely have. They absolutely have.
I have never seen so many people who were anti-Patriots say, I would be okay with the Patriots winning this game because I'm really anti-Goodell.
Mm-hmm.
And you can count me among one of those. Is that if the Patriots win, it's not going to break my heart because really that awkward handoff of the Super Bowl trophy is appointment television.
Did you guys?
I think Goodell has shown really how out of touch he is with what's going on when he came out this week and said Thursday Night Football is good product.
Yeah, we've seen that Roger Goodell has done a good job making an ass of himself over the past few months, and you know what? He's avoided Tom Brady, he's avoided the whole situation, and at this point he has no choice but to actually kind of spearhead it at this point and just take one on the chin and say, you know what? Yeah, we screwed up. We shouldn't have done what we did, but we did it, and now we can't take it back. But I mean, at this point, I think. Kind of going back to the game here, I feel that we are in for one hell of a football game. I mean, the last time we saw, and I know you guys are kind of dogging on the Patriots defense a little, but they've been absolutely fantastic from the end of the season, towards the end of the season to now. I believe it was week 12 on, the Patriots have been unbelievable.
Yes.
And at this point, if I'm not mistaken, it's the number one offense versus the number one defense. While the Patriots offense is fantastic, their defense is pretty damn good too. And what happened, now the last 4 of 5, we've seen the number one defense beat the number one offense. Patriots with the defense, Falcons with the offense. And what happened last time we saw that matchup? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if you guys remember correctly, that's when the Seattle Seahawks put an absolute smackdown, laid the absolute smackdown, I should say, if we're keeping wrestling here. They just destroyed the Denver Broncos, and there was no question that Seattle was the better team. And you know what? I mean, the Patriots have 30 of 53 players on their roster with Super Bowl experience. The Falcons have less than 5.
Not only that, it's the latest their IR has ever been.
It's something where the Patriots are experienced. They know how to handle the moment. They know what they have to do. Now, we've seen the Patriots handle the moment fine against the Giants twice, and they lost. There's a possibility the Patriots could lose. There's a possibility that the world could end tomorrow with an asteroid. I don't know. But, you know what? At the end of the day, the Patriots have been here before. They know what it takes to win. Yeah, they're facing a very difficult opponent. But, I mean, at this point, it looks like their Super Bowl to lose. And I could be crazy, but, at the end of the day, I'm a sports fan. And Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. I don't care, you guys can argue all day, but I feel, at the end of the day, Super Bowl victories, championships speak to how well you were as a player. And especially being the starting quarterback, being the leader of the team. I mean, Brady's pushed his NFL record to 7 Super Bowl starts. John Elway has second most with 5. And Brady would become the first quarterback with 5 Super Bowl victories if he wins next Sunday. I mean, that's absolutely absurd. We never would have thought of that when Tom Brady came into the league and was drafted by the New England Patriots. I mean, they're just very good at what they do. And yes, like Eric said, there's a system in place. No doubt about it. But you know what? At the end of the day, Tom Brady is still the key cog to that machine offensively. If you had Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe you'd make it to the Super Bowl. Maybe you'd make it to the AFC Championship game. But there's something about Tom Brady that makes that Patriots team as great as they are.
Well, I think that even to your point with Jimmy Garoppolo, yeah, he probably could have gotten to the AFC Championship game with that because, truth be told, if you look over the course of the season, the Patriots' schedule was relatively easy. And I'm not saying that as a disgruntled Jets fan or anything. I mean, I'm saying this as a fact. You know, you look at what they did in the 4 weeks. The 4 weeks that they did not have Tom Brady. You know, they beat Arizona. Arizona is not really a good team.
They only actually beat Arizona because of that missed field goal.
Well, right, but still, they ended up beating them.
Yeah,
gentlemen. At the end of the day, a victory is a victory. It doesn't matter if you win by a 1 or by 100. You win.
They ended up beating Miami when Miami was a junk team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they ended up rolling Houston, and Houston was supposed to be the premier team with signing $75 million Brock Osweiler. And, then they go ahead and they lose to Buffalo, but then they followed up with Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh was their toughest challenge there. But they had Landry Jones starting. They didn't have Ben Roethlisberger starting, so that was easy. They had
Not to debate the difference the last week.
Exactly. Well, no, but that's another story too. But I mean, Buffalo. Then they had the loss to Seattle, but then they followed that up with San Francisco, New York Jets, L.A., Baltimore, Denver, Jets again, and then Miami again. I mean, it was a cakewalk for them that whole season.
Yeah.
So they really should be 15-1, if anything.
Well, let me tell you,
they shouldn't have been blown out by Buffalo.
Let me tell you what. There's nothing I love more in these. If we're reflecting real quick, if I may be able to reflect really quick, as I wipe one single tear away. There's nothing I've learned to love more in these past 100 plus episodes. Because again, John, as everyone knows, this is probably episode like 115 or 120. But the way we've done it, as we did earlier with the Royal Rumble cast that we did, we recorded, whereas 99.5, we've done that. So this isn't this is what we're calling 100. It's not 100. But anyways, the one thing I've learned to love in the past 100 plus episodes is Lewis's absolute distaste for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's nothing I love more. Like I love the fact that he hates them. I love the fact that he'll go out of his way to trash the organization as much as he possibly can. The second favorite thing, I got to say it because I got him on the air right now. My second favorite thing I love talking football with Lewis about, everything, is always the Dallas Cowboys are going to become the greatest franchise in the history of the National Football League, and they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I didn't realize they had CTE in them cigars you smoke there, Lewis, because
okay, Mr. Jets fan.
They're prime for the hey, but at least I acknowledge the Jets stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. The Cowboys were fun to watch this year. As far as they go, I'm very, very curious to see their offseason. I know we're talking about the Super Bowl and everything, but I'm really curious to see what their offseason is going to be like. Like, are they really going to get rid of Tony Romo?
I doubt it.
Was Dak Prescott, a benefiter of that offensive line and the real star of the team? Ezekiel Elliott. You know what though? I love the fact that looking on both sides of the coin. First off, I'm sure you guys saw the photo of John Elway with Tony Romo at a government outing. That was a nice way to spark up the rumor mill heading into the off season. But the one thing, and this is I'm gonna tie this back. So hear me out here. Give me a second to run with this. With the Cowboys, when people say, you know what, Ezekiel Elliott's only good because of the offensive line, or Dak Prescott's only good because he has Des Bryant and Jason Witten. Okay, so what if that's the case? What if the Patriots are only good because Tom Brady is a great quarterback? He's a great quarterback, so because if the Patriots have a really good player and they've cultivated talent and they've learned how to make a system work, like that defense has some decent players, but there's no superstars on the defensive side of the ball.
There are very good football players, but they are not guys who are going to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as, like Lawrence Taylor. That's the first name that popped into my head. You don't see a guy on the defense where you're like, you know what, this guy is recreating this position, and the position will never be played the same because of player X. I mean,
I will say this though: if they had that one person though, the Cowboys, if they had that one or two people on the defensive side of the ball, they would have been the NFC representation.
Absolutely, and you know what? I again going back looking at the Cowboys and looking at other teams around football. Yes, you could argue that Ezekiel Elliott's only good because he has a great offensive line. But the reason they drafted Ezekiel Elliott is because they had a great offensive line. They're able to put good franchises. I guess what I'm trying to say here is good franchises are able to put their good players in good positions to succeed. Because if their good players can be great based off of a great offensive line, so you've got a strong running back with a great offensive line, perfect, great, fantastic. You're going to be great. Or if we go to baseball and you look at what the Red Sox did. They had a good pitching staff. How to make it great? Go get Chris Sale. So you do what you can to supplement what you already have. Excuse me. That's what presses a franchise from good to great. That's why the Patriots are a great sports franchise, because again, they don't mess with the formula.
Yeah.
They've got Tom Brady. They've got I mean, aside from Julian Edelman, you've got Danny Amendola, who's a trip away from having a season-ending groin injury. You've got Chris Hogan, who where the hell did he come from? I mean, obviously Buffalo fans know who he is.
How does that feel, Bills fans?
So here's my thing though with New England. New England is smart about how they pick up their people, especially with guys like Dion Lewis. When they essentially revitalized LeGarrette Blount's career after his short stint in Pittsburgh. They've gone ahead. Martellus Bennett has stepped up into the point where Rob Gronkowski's gone, and he has filled that tight end position. He's essentially become the tight end for the New England Patriots. Rob Gronkowski could be gone at this point.
I don't know if Gronkowski's going to go anywhere until his back finally gives out. Gronk is not. There will always be a spot for Gronkowski.
I agree with that, but what I'm saying is that right now Gronk is not a missing piece of that puzzle. And they've been able to keep that tight end position relevant and available, and a deep threat, a threat on the offense, even at that, this year with him.
Now, the one thing I did want to point out, too, I can't find the stat that I had, but the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken, since Bill Belichick has taken over, if that was the correct stat, the Patriots have had over 50,000 snaps from undrafted free agents. So again, you find a way to supplement the talent you have with other good young talent. And you know what? There's in my opinion, there's no better team than the Patriots that do that. And that's why the Patriots are able to go to seven Super Bowls with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick at the helm, because they're able to they can go out and trade Chandler Jones because they're not going to get much. They're not going to re-sign him. They go trade Chandler Jones for an offensive tackle or an offensive guard who I believe is on his third or fourth team at this point, and a draft pick. Which that draft pick either they'll pick or they'll turn it into multiple picks.
What does Belichick always say? Do your job.
Exactly.
He finds the people that does their job. Now this is on a completely non-football related question here, actually, for Mr. Perez over here. Perez, I got the lash. Coke or Pepsi with it?
Coke.
Gotcha. All right, proceed, Ryan.
Okay, so I was going to say, this is no knock on the Falcons, because Thomas Dimitroff is I believe a Bill Belichick descendant. He's worked with Belichick before. If I remember correctly, again, another story that I read this week was that Dimitroff talked to Bill Belichick when he was going to make the trade for Julio Jones, and Belichick said, "Don't do it. It's just not a good idea." Dimitroff went and did it, and it actually paid off. Julio Jones right now is on pace with Jerry Rice at this point in time in his career. That's fantastic. And again, you supplement the players you have. You got Matt Ryan, you need to get him a target, you go out and get Julio Jones. The Falcons have done a fantastic job hoarding defensive talent, young defensive talent. Offensively, they've picked up great running backs in the draft. They've all been able to finally put it together and make it work. And I mean, it's Matt Ryan's first Super Bowl start, the second Super Bowl start for the Falcons in the history of the league. The last time they lost to the Green Bay Packers,
96, wasn't it?
Green Bay Packers and Brett Favre, or actually, they lost to the Denver Broncos. I'm sorry, it was the Broncos had beat the Packers, and then the Broncos had beat the Falcons, or flip-flop. But I think this was the second of the two Super Bowls.
This is a damn good run.
Yeah, the Broncos were fantastic then. But the Falcons are a team where if they make the right moves and they continue to push the right buttons, they could become the next New England Patriots in the National Football League. Now, I'm not saying Matt Ryan's going to go out and win 5 or 6 Super Bowls. I'm just saying the Falcons can be a legit contender year to year if they continue doing what they do well. And maybe they can finally break that NFC South curse where when you win the NFC South, the next season you don't win the NFC South and you're terrible. So I think the Falcons are going to be okay there.
Carolina already broke that curse, though. They broke that curse last year.
But I'm saying it happened again, though, because the Panthers won, and then guess what happened? They were terrible again. So again,
they had won 2 years. They won 2 years in a row, though.
But what I'm saying is that this last year, it kicked back in. I want to see it. I consider it an aberration. Give me another season of it, and then I'll consider that curse dead. You got to remember, John. You got to remember. A Boston Red Sox fan here. I need a couple experiences of positivity before I'll say yeah, it's over. It's not happening ever again.
Okay, fair enough.
Like when the Red Sox won in 2004, I'm like the curse is broken. Yay! Now they got to go win a couple years later, so I can actually really know that this is not just an aberration. Or like with my favorite soccer team, Leicester City, they win the Premier League, and I'm like, cool, maybe they're going to be good, and they have crapped the bed absolutely. So that's what I'm trying to point out here. I was a bad example. I should have further explained it, but you get the idea.
That's okay. I get it. I understand you're a soccer fan. I think I'm the only one in this show right now that probably isn't. I think that soccer's junk. I'm sorry, but
that's okay.
Anyways, to your point about the Boston Red Sox, hey, Chicago Cubs fans, you're on the clock. Is the curse really over?
Is the curse over? Or you're gonna go break it again? You're gonna really throw it in the trash? I like to look into the weird stuff, and you know what? That's actually a very, very, very good transition because we're hitting about 25 minutes here on the preview, so I want to wrap up here in a couple minutes. So with that being said, we're going to go around the table. I'm going to get John, Lewis, Eric, and then my prediction for the Super Bowl champion. So Super Bowl 51, Houston, Texas. You've got the Atlanta Falcons. You've got the New England Patriots. Will the dynasty continue, or do we see a potential new dynasty born in Houston at, NRG Stadium? Who's going to win it?
Stadium.
John, you take the table.
Well, I have been back and forth with this particular subject since the end of the game, because I've rode high on the Atlanta Falcons all season, and I've hated the New England Patriots for my entire life, even when they weren't relevant during the earlier years of my life. But that being said, the storyline that is involved here, topped with the fact that some Atlanta fan. So I'll take a quick story here to kind of get into this. But so Black Adam Schefter on Facebook posted a picture of somebody who called himself Vegas Dave, saying he put $5 million on the Falcons for the Super Bowl. And somebody commented saying somebody put a crying Jordan face on that guy right now. So of course that's my gimmick. I threw a crying Jordan face on it, posted it, and said just in case you needed it. Well, some creepy Atlanta Falcons fan stalked my profile and put a crying Jordan face on me. So
the taste of your own medicine.
Yes. So he pissed me off, and because of that, I'm saying New England.
That's a very sentimental reason to go with the New England Patriots, but I will take it.
Well, it's you know what? It's more because I really want to see that trophy presentation. I am so anti-Goodell right now that
you got to remember too, John. It goes to Robert Kraft first. Vladimir Putin's best friend. It goes to Robert Kraft first.
Well, I thought that was Donald Trump.
Both. Lewis, you got to remember. We're not going political here, but you have to remember. One of Robert Kraft's Super Bowl rings is currently in the possession of Vladimir Putin because they met and Putin went, "Wow, this is a nice ring. I'm going to have it."
Yeah.
And I don't know if he ever got it back, but anyways.
I hate that guy. I hate that guy.
I forgot what I wanted to say because I got
First off, Goodell hands the trophy to Kraft.
Right
what if Goodell, what if Robert Kraft goes,
super kick him right there. I don't
John,
care. He's a crappy
John,
president.
John, simmer down. Simmer down, John. Simmer down, teapot. What if the Patriots win the Super Bowl and instead of giving the trophy to Robert Kraft is like, Tommy,
here is my son.
go get the trophy.
That would be awesome.
And then what if we're gonna go wrestling here before you give your prediction? What if
Shawn Michaels throws him through the fiberglass window?
You got to calm down, Eric. What if?
Shut up, Eric.
What if Brady gets the Lombardi trophy, and then out of nowhere does a suck it chop and just green fireworks everywhere, and then he super kicks Roger Goodell and cleats him in the face, and then like out of nowhere Triple H pedigrees him and gives him a WWE championship.
Ryan, you just took it too far.
I'm fantasy booking.
Fantasy booking.
Brady probably can't even get his leg up that high.
It is WrestleMania season, so
It is.
Listen, I wrestled last night. I was surprised I was able to get my leg as high as I was able to do corner kicks.
Why were you getting your leg high, John? What are you doing? Anyways, Lewis, take it from here. What do you got?
Talking about, your. Hold on a second.
You'll get it one of these days too.
It'll come to me in a second.
the brain's rebooting.
Go get him, Slugger.
Put me in, coach.
So, talking about your wrestling analogy, and what if Tom Brady goes to get it? I think it'd be funnier if, he goes up to get it, and as Goodell's holding out the trophy, he just hits it with an RKO.
Go home, Lewis. You're drunk.
That'd be awesome if Tom Brady hit him with an RKO.
All right, so Lewis? Who do you got?
So, real quick, on the 100th episode of Better Alive Than Dead, I think it's fortuitous that Serena Williams won her 23rd major earlier today. So I just want to say, shout out to Serena Williams. I love you.
I was going to mention that because
keeping it with wrestling, Triple H center a title. Okay.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. That's where John. That's where I got the wrestling, the Triple H DX idea was because I remember about the trophy or about the title, and that's pretty dope.
Ironically enough, we mentioned Crying Jordan, and he sent a pair of Jordans to her too. But anyway,
yes, he did. So
the WWE is starved for attention.
Yeah, right. My heart is saying Atlanta because I really want Atlanta to win. We've discussed why I do not want to see the Patriots win a fifth Super Bowl.
Oh, I forgot. Please tell me, Lewis, why?
Yes, please.
My mind says that the Patriots are going to win. And so I'm going to go with my mind with this one, and I'm going to say that the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl lie. The lie.
You can just say 51 and put and stop. And you can retract your pinky and just say Super Bowl 51.
Super Bowl 5-1.
Thank you, Eric. It's all yours.
So, I don't know if you guys had seen the story, but Roger Goodell had already gone on record saying that he would be more than happy to hand the Lombardi trophy over to Tom Brady,
Yes, he did. He's a liar.
Waving the white flag going, you know what? I think we are in too deep. My Super Bowl prediction with a score is New England over Atlanta. I'm going to say 38-28.
And now for me, the most important prediction of the podcast. I'll give you a score prediction as well. John, it's my podcast. I'll hang up on you, okay?
Okay. Well, if you
I don't want to have to do that.
Hanging up on Lewis too?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't conference call very often, so this is something different. Anyways, no, I can hang up. I can cut either of you off at any point in time if I want to. Anyways, back to the podcast. Back to the prediction. I'm gonna throw a stat at you guys. A very strange prop bet stat. The last 11 of 12 Super Bowl winners, excluding the Green Bay Packers in 2010, who wore the color green, the last 11 of 12 Super Bowl winners have worn white. The New England Patriots will be in white at Super Bowl 51 in Houston, Texas. And that alone, I mean, obviously you've heard my other reasoning, but for now, for kicks, that alone is my reason why the New England Patriots will win the Super Bowl over the Atlanta Falcons. And if you want a score prediction, I'm going to say the Patriots are going to win 420-69.
Nice.
So also, now your crazy stat prediction for the white jerseys, that would make it 12 of the last lucky number 13.
That is correct. And also the one thing that a couple friends pointed out at WGR was that the way it worked was it went, I think, 6 years, and then the seventh was, or 5 years, and then the sixth one was the colored jersey, and then it goes 5 more years, and then maybe the sixth one will be the colored jersey. But this is the 5th year, so even if it goes by that trend, the Patriots will still win because they're wearing white.
We can only hope.
Okay, then.
But don't you know you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day?
Fashion faux pas.
It is a fashion faux pas. Well, hey, I want to thank all you guys for joining today. It's been kind of take a...
Oh, wait. Hey, Lewis. It's football related. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to cut you off there, Ryan. I saw this NFL meme that on the Facebook. I don't know why I do this to myself, but it has a picture of the Dallas Cowboys star, and it says the Dallas Cowboys last won the Super Bowl January 28th, 1996. Today is January 28th, 2017. Happy 21 years of choke. I don't know why. Lewis, I'm sorry, man. Jets last won the Super Bowl in 1969. I can't talk, but...
Yeah, it's almost better though if you can talk junk about sports and while being aware, because there's a lot of people where I hear fans that will talk absolute junk. Like I work with a bunch of people who will talk crap about other teams and then openly admit they're Bills fans. And then they'll defend the Bills. Where if you ask me, I'm a sports fan at the end of the day. I'll tell you flat out, like, hey, I'll talk crap to Lewis about the Cowboys because I love the reaction. I love the banter back and forth. And if Lewis goes, the Bills suck, I'll say, okay, and your point is? Like, I understand that.
Exactly, because like if you're going to say happy 21 years of joking to me, like if Ryan had said that, I'd be like, well, happy 23, 24, 25, and 26 years of choking,
Yeah, and I mean, John, you're openly making fun of a Super Bowl drought, not a playoff drought, a Super Bowl drought. And the last time the Jets won the Super Bowl, it's almost on an AARP at this point. So
First of all, okay, no, you obviously were not paying attention. I said I wasn't making fun of it. It was the NFL memes thing. I laughed. And
you weren't making. Okay, so you weren't making fun.
You were making light of the meme.
You were poking fun.
I laughed at it, and then I apologized to Lewis promptly and said, I don't know why I'm saying anything because the Jets last won the Super Bowl in 1969.
You're absolved of your transgressions, John.
Back when Lewis was probably about 30 years old at that time.
That's right. Exactly.
So get it right, Ryan.
Right now, Lewis is approximately a 78-year-old man.
That's right.
You know what? I affectionately say Lewis is ageless.
He is.
Lewis, you look great for being 112 years old.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You look great. You look great.
Age has
just Lewis.
Just spiked by like 30 years and 20 seconds.
You look great for being born before Christ.
That's right. I'm a Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis is 125 years old.
Boy, he always lied about his age. He ain't lied about his age one time. One time I said Frank Sinatra. I said, Jay, how old is Joe Lewis? Joe Lewis said, hey, he's 137 years old. 137 years old.
Guys, the podcast just took a turn.
Oh man!
I think we probably dated the both of you guys. So that's okay. That's okay. That's okay, Lewis. You my age.
If you want to see Coming to America, you got to go watch that movie.
That's a great movie.
It is a fantastic movie.
That's a great movie.
I can recite that movie line for line.
Pretty much, yeah.
So now kind of kicking down the fourth wall real fast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the past 100+ episodes. On GearNetwork.com, BLTDSports.com, through Spreaker, wherever it may be you listen to us, iTunes. Really, honestly, thank you so much. It's been an absolute fantastic run. We look forward to doing a lot more. Going to try to dabble with some fun stuff now that we have equipment where we can travel and we can speak to different people now through cell phones and through our board and all that stuff. So a lot of good stuff coming. We thank you for staying tuned throughout the past 100+ episodes. I want to say thank you to Eric Thank you to John. Thanks to Lewis, everybody for being here today.
And if I could just speak on this
Sure.
as the network, and now as the network CEO, as the boss, if you will.
You got to be real now.
I want to say flat out, first of all, to all the listeners that have paid attention and have listened to this podcast for the past 100+ podcasts. It's been great. Your support has been wonderful. And just for you guys and Lewis, I know there are weeks you might have missed and things like that, and different half podcasts. I think I even led one podcast when Freddie Jackson got released from Buffalo. But just the fact that I've been able to watch BLTD grow as BLTD watched GERE Network grow. You guys took a chance on me when I was starting up, and I'll never forget that. And I'm very, very proud of how far this brand has come, and for you, Ryan, and your growth and development. And Lou, you're my ace, so it's all good there. But just I'm very proud that I got to this landmark. You guys did a great job through the ups and downs, and here's to hopefully 100 more.
Appreciate that.
I agree. Man, y'all gonna make me cry.
I know, me too. You're getting me all emotional over here.
No. Lewis's tears cure cancer, and he doesn't cry.
His tears,
story.
yeah, his tears are probably just straight alcohol.
That's probably true too.
That's what mine will be tonight.
I want to now real quick before we wrap up and say goodbye. I want to say you can follow Eric on Twitter at Eric Emanon, John at the JC Money, Lewis at MRLG Perez. I'm at Wolfe BLTD. Check out BLTDsports.com. Twitter.com/BLTD Sports, or just at BLTD Sports. Facebook.com/BLTD Sports. Again, BLTDsports.com. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Again, I want to say for the 100th plus time, we are better live than dead.
You're not.
And I want to say a real quick shout out to our new friends over at the 716 Sports Network who have started tuning into our podcast. A new place for us to grow and to gain more following. We appreciate you listening as well. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone, and we will catch you sometime very soon. Peace.
Shut up, Eric.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the GERE Network.